Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Hard Knocks episode 3. Zach Bruner is myself, Luke Rammer to my right. And just like every single week, we're here as the after party, the after show to NFL Hard Knocks, just to kind of give our reactions, give our reflections on the episode. If you watched it right away, and then you come to hear our thoughts, definitely chime in with your thoughts, what you thought of the episode. If you're a Bills fan, love to hear your thoughts about Bills Hard Knocks, obviously. Or if you just don't have time to watch it, you don't want to watch it, you just want to know the big takeaways, any NFL or fantasy football implications, maybe to take away from it, we got you covered there. So whether it's a substitution or whether it is, just adding on to your Hard Knocks experience, we're here every single Tuesday night, and then you can watch it after the fact as well. Definitely subscribe. And before we get going as well, tonight there's another update coming to the fantasy football draft rankings.
Hello.
So top 10 draft rankings according to Fantasy Pros, top 10 in season, top 5 running back, wide receivers as well. But big updates coming tonight. Obviously, we've had Anthony Richardson getting named quarterback too, so we got to do some updates with the Colts passing game, receivers. I think you got to switch a little bit. There's some running back injuries. There's some stuff going on in Washington in terms of their running back room. So quite a bit of rankings updates coming there, but it's a 32-page draft kit. Scan the QR code or to go to buymeacoffee.com /Zach Bruner. That's again, buymeacoffee.com /Zach Bruner, ZACH BRUNNER. $5 per month. You can become a member and you get the sortable data files. That's your best bang for your buck, or you can become a member for a full year. Get the draft kit this year, get all the in-season stats, the group chat, the everything, and get next season's draft kit as well for $35. That's your best deal. Or if you just want the one-off payment for the PDF draft kit, again, you get all the updates through the end of the summer, up until draft season, up until week 1. That's $10. So it's definitely the best value draft kit, one of the best quality draft kits. And Luke and myself both worked on it, and there's a lot of good shit to read in there. What'd you have to say, Luke? I saw your hand go up.
Nothing. I'm just wondering when we can start labeling Anthony Richardson a bust immediately like we did with Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Anthony Richardson's got more of a chance than Trey Lance has. For whatever that is worth. I think neither have gotten much of a chance, but we'll see. We'll see. I see a lot of people trying to diagnose like preseason action, stuff like that in terms of this decision. And I think it's pretty clear why Daniel Jones is the starter, and that's one person's an adult and the other person is a kid. And they want at least some chance to win football games. So we're going to name the adult the leader, and hopefully Anthony Richardson continues to mature. Like we've said, he's thrown the most impressive interception I've ever seen in my entire life. He certainly has skills, but winning NFL games is not one of his skills at this current moment, I don't think.
Yeah, agreed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're starting the better quarterback. I think Indianapolis made a good decision.
Yeah. And again, I don't know who's making the decisions. I assume it's Ballard more than anything. I mean, his back is up against the wall. I assume if they don't win, he's done. And that's fair. He's been given a lot of chances there. And he took a big swing on Anthony Richardson and stuff. But I think more than anything, it's like, if we go with Anthony Richardson for the first 8 games, 10 games, and we're 2-6, doesn't really matter. Do we know anything about Steichen? Like, we at least know then Anthony Richardson is the guy, but do we know anything about Steichen? At least with Daniel Jones, we can run the offense. Right. And then maybe figure out, do we completely clean the slate next year? Are there people we can bring back? But Indianapolis is it's a mess in a bad division, so they could win games, but they're a mess for sure.
Yeah, they got an Andrew Luck curse, man. Andrew Luck came in and was going to be the savior, the next Peyton Manning, and it's just been a revolving door since then. I think the fans kind of deserve that for booing Andrew Luck out of the preseason game.
That was tough. Yeah. I get it, but yeah, you can't do that. And then you ruin any chance of him coming back. I still think it would be, how incredible would it be if he just randomly comes back at some point, because he's still not that old. It would be one of the coolest things, one of the coolest sports moments ever.
And to be honest, he's probably, if he comes in, he's the best quarterback in that room right now.
Oh, yeah, that's not close.
Yeah.
Him today would be the best quarterback in that room.
Hmm.
People forget how good he was.
Right.
He barely spent any time healthy, but he was a damn good football player. But let's jump into Hard Knocks. Um, and let's just go with the very first scene. We'll kind of go chronological, or if you have random thoughts, throw them out. But I'll start with the very first thing. I feel like Sean McDermott gave a speech to the team that just exactly echoed what we talked about last week. Like, he talked about how they had to wake up, how they're too comfortable, how you got to earn your shit. You don't have to, you're not gifted a top offense, you're not gifted a top team. And that's kind of what we were talking about last week, where it's like they're living in la la land. They're acting like they're the reigning champs, like they've done anything. They're not even like an historic team that's won a bunch. Like, they are a cursed franchise that will continue to be cursed unless they wake up. So I like that he's at least speaking like that. Like, hey guys, wake your shit up. Obviously, we know what happened in the week 2 preseason game later on in the week, but I think the week at least started on the right note there.
Yeah, agreed. I don't necessarily know. I would imagine McDermott is kind of keeping a cool, calm head with cameras on and everything. It's a little bit different than we've seen, right? Right, with the Dan Campbells and the Rex Ryans and the John Grudens of the world that we've seen on Hard Knocks. But like, do we know that Sean McDermott is an upper echelon coach in the NFL?
Uh, that's hard to say. I think he's a
Right.
good coach, but yeah, I wouldn't say like if the next team who signs him, he comes in and solves their issues.
Right. I just so that's I agreed with that with what you said about the speech. Like, it's time to wake up. We haven't done shit. We're like, we have to do our jobs to win. I still wish that, and they didn't do it again this episode. I wish that someone would bring up the Chiefs, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Um, I That speech alone, my only thought was, like, this is kind of boring. Like, this guy doesn't have a real personality. But I'm wondering if that's he's just keeping it off to the cameras, and behind closed doors, he's getting fired up and everything. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we were right in the last show. It's obvious that we were right about that Sean McDermott. Not that he watched the show, but is in the same mindset. And then to come out and see what happened in the preseason game, I would imagine probably gets a little more hyped up next week. But yeah, like, Bills haven't done anything. Again, I want the Chiefs. Like, let's beat the fucking Chiefs. That's what this whole hard knock should be, and it's not.
No, and I guess now the opposite thing would be if the whole thing was about let's beat the Chiefs, let's beat the Chiefs. Chiefs fans would be like, we live rent free in your head. But even still, they kind of should. If they don't,
Right, right. I
like, they're
mean,
still the team to beat.
if that was the case, Chiefs fans, not that the fans deserve anything. Fans don't deserve anything, to be honest. But they deserve it. Yeah, they beat them like 4 years in a row in the playoffs. Of course, they live rent free in their heads.
Yeah, they're the boogeyman. Like, it
Right,
doesn't matter what happens. They know if they face them in the regular season, like, they can't even celebrate the win if they beat
right.
them. It truly does not matter because they know in the playoffs it's like, okay, we got to pitch a perfect game, and if we don't, we're gonna get got again. Like, we'll just something will happen, something unforeseen will happen.
And
Whether it be a player dying or whether it be who knows, like, whatever will happen against the Buffalo Bills.
right, and the Bill, like, we know this. The Bills fans, Bills players keep losing the same team in the play. Like, Packers lose to the 49ers every fucking year in the playoffs. I hate the 49ers. I want them all their players to,
Mhm.
not to, not crazy, but get hurt and not play and don't play well and everything. The Bills have to feel the exact same way, that they have to absolutely hate the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I can't imagine how much they despise Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Right.
Like, they have to absolutely just puke every time they see Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, just living this Hollywood life. Like, they have to hate them. They have to hate Andy Reid, who
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
would.
no one can hate. But like, yeah, he would be the worst person of all time. But no mention. That's fine. Again, they don't need to do it. With McDermott, yeah, I can see how he could come across boring. That's the thing. Like, I don't think he's a coach that raises his voice very often. So I think when he does, then it's a big impact. So I don't necessarily blame that. But
Yeah.
if he's going to keep this tone the entire time, and again, they keep having a good season, losing, good season, losing. This monotone, sort of boring guy who's just aging, like, he's going to lose the team. It's just going to get stale. And it still, I think there was more fire this time around, but it still feels like it feels stale. you see the quarterbacks and Josh Allen goofing off all the time. It feels like they have the old high school teacher who's going to retire next year.
Right. I think it goes back to the original point. It feels like they're complacent. Like we have Josh Allen, we'll be fine. Like that's what this whole thing feels like to me.
And that's certainly what it felt. Obviously, there's more than just Josh Allen out for the preseason game, but you can't get skunked by the Chicago Bears. No
Yeah.
matter if they're playing starters, no matter if everyone's playing backups. I mean, it's bad. It's just bad. Obviously, they had joint practice, so they didn't need to play starters. They didn't need anything. I'm interested to see what they do in the final week of the preseason because it feels like this Bills team needs some momentum.
They need a pick me up.
Yeah. Right now, it's nothing. Right now, it's just going through the motions. You see, again, it's not a huge deal and it's relatable and everyone's done this, but you see Josh Allen say to Tremaine Edmonds, like, hey, pop me here, and then we're done with practice.
Right.
Like, I love Josh Allen. I really like him. He's not the leader that a championship team has, in my opinion. That's just me. But
yeah, I don't disagree.
It is what it is. And I love him. I think he's great. I'm not a Bills fan in the slightest. I would say they're in the bottom 5 teams for me. Even though I like a lot of their players, it's just hard to cheer for them, in my opinion. And especially if they re-sign Gabe Davis, if he goes back there now. I know he's getting a look this week. I can't do it. But it is what it is. The other note I wrote down from early in the episode, they were literally just talking about, we got to wake up, we got to get back on track. And then I wrote down 0-38 because I knew that was the end of the score at the end of the week. Like, let's see how they get to that point because something's going to go wrong. And I guess in the game, it's just they couldn't block. Again, no offensive line starters in there, I don't think. Missing passes, drops. Like, again, what their week 2 preseason game was for us. I mean, we're Packer fans. That was the Packers week 1 game.
Yeah.
Where it's hard to take anything away from it. But
bury the tape.
Game, so hopefully they should have woken up by now.
Yeah, that's a classic bury the tape, but you can't because you're halfway through the preseason now. You need to start making decisions.
More than half. Yeah, Bills would benefit from that 4th preseason week, but they don't got it.
Yeah, right.
But once Josh Allen's back in there, obviously he covers a lot of issues. I think James Cook is a spark to this offense. So I think there really aren't very many. Just thinking about this Bills offense, who's the energy guys?
I know, it's just Josh Allen.
Maybe James Cook, but yeah, just those two.
Like in terms of like a guy who's going to get out there and like, I guess, you not necessarily like on the field kind of thing, but a guy who's going to go in there and like get guys fired up and ready to play. It's Josh Allen. It's probably Deion Dawkins, and that's about it.
Yeah, and Dawkins is, as much as I love him, like offensive lineman can't be that guy because we're trying to catch our breath in between plays. He's got all he can handle against the top edge rushers from every team. And trying to keep Josh Allen upright because if he is the one reason why Josh Allen gets hurt, he's getting death threats till the end of days.
For sure.
Regardless, unless they win a Super Bowl, like that's the only soothing for that. But yeah, James Cook maybe can bust a big play, but I don't know. Maybe that's why they're bringing Gabe Davis back in. Big game Gabe. He was an energy guy. He just didn't show up except for in primetime, which fine. Now that he's not going to be the wide receiver 2, that's not a terrible thing, I guess.
Right. To transition off of the James Cook, was that whole signing thing kind of weird? It seems like that's probably James Cook's personality where he doesn't really get fired up much, but it did not seem like he wanted to sign that contract.
No. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who have an issue with that. There's 2 kinds of running backs, and I've been around a ton of running backs exactly like him. And me as a coach, because I did a lot of run game coordinator stuff, like it was like pulling teeth. Like show me something, do something. But when it came to game day, like
some clicks.
The one guy in my mind who I think of when I see James Cook, and he's got the perfect running back name of all time. His name's Herschel. Like he didn't talk, didn't have any emotion, and he would run the fuck over everybody on game day. He was the best. Like, great. Dumb as a box of rocks. Love you, Herschel. Yeah, that's kind of James Cook too, I think. He likes playing ball, and He likes to run away or over people, and that's fine. But then, you got to have the rest of the running back room, the rest of the backfield. Like, he's a good compliment to Josh Allen. Um, I don't know much about Ray Davis, to be honest, but I think he's a good compliment to like Ty Johnson. I could see him being an energy guy. Um, but yeah, can't have too many of them, but I think you need to have some of them. So I don't mind that. Any big takeaways from the episode for you?
The British guy, I like that they're making fun of him. That's kind of funny. Um, which is like, why I love offensive linemen because they don't give a fuck about anything. They just want to put beers back and hang out with the guys and rag on each other. They should have dedicated more segments to him talking about British food and then the other guys just talking about how horrible it is. I like Connor McGovern making pizza because that's something I want to learn how to do is make pizza. I don't care about his kid and his wife and his dog, but to getting all like again, it's similar to like going out and doing training camp 2 weeks together with the guys, like just having everyone over and shooting the shit, throwing pizzas in the oven. I mean, that's got to be an absolute blast.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, again, that was just such a nostalgic thing for me. Like, not necessarily pizza, but like having a bunch of like the boys over for like the
Right.
football team and shit like that. That's top of the chain. And from all the stories I've heard from this Buffalo Bills team, they do that shit a lot.
Yeah.
And they do poker nights, I think, every single week during the season. They do all that kind of stuff, which I think they're super close.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. I think the Bills like each other, and I think that's huge. There's just they're missing that one extra element. And will they get it this year? I don't know. But I don't think this is a team that is even built to implode. Whereas, you look
Right.
at the Miami Dolphins in the division, it's like if they have a bad quarter to start the season, Tyreek may pull an Antonio Brown and peace out. And Bills, that just won't happen.
Right.
But yeah, I love that. I like Connor McGovern. I think that was great. Yeah, to
Another
your point, don't care about his family.
right. Another thing that I think that it could have been just an hour of Joe Tooney at Oliver one-on-ones. I would have watched the whole thing incredibly.
Loved it. I suppose it didn't make Ed Oliver look great, but Joe Tooney's so good.
It's
He
hard to look good
is
against Joe Tooney.
top 3 guard, probably top 2, 1 guard. No Zach. I can't think of his name now. From the
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin. Thank God.
Like
Zach Martin, perennial
it,
pro.
it's a take that is probably not very popular just because people like probably don't know offensive line well. But Joe Tooney's got to be up there for like best guards of all time.
It was the biggest shocker to me this offseason was the Chiefs getting rid of him.
Right.
That
feels like
kind
a
of
huge loss to them.
It is. I still would put their interior 3. I think they have the best interior 3 in football even still. But he's incredible. He played tackle for them as well. He's probably a top 5 offensive lineman. He is incredible.
Yeah.
And that's why the Bears added other people. I think they have a solid 5 across the board. But him to anchor that team, as a Packer fan, that scares me. Because
Yeah,
now
I
it's like,
agreed, man.
hey, if they can win the line of scrimmage, the Bears can do whatever they want.
Yeah, not only is he good, but he comes in with what 3 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, and started with Bill Belichick, went to Andy Reid. Like, he knows winning football. He knows hard-nosed football. He's not afraid of the cold. He's a Chicago Bear, and that pisses me off. But then, yeah, I mean, getting the respect of Ed Oliver on Hard Knocks, I think that should tell a lot of people a lot about Joe Tooney. And again, we saw 2 snaps.
Yeah.
To your point, I would love to see more. But to be fair, if Ed Oliver started putting in the work against Joe Tooney, NFL Films probably would have showed it.
For sure.
This is we're supposed to be pumping up the Chicago or the Buffalo Bills here, and they kind of didn't do that, really. The highlights were Josh Allen throwing it to Palmer.
Yeah.
I suppose that was about it. They had Keon Coleman caught a touchdown. We haven't heard from him yet, but we at least saw him. Kincaid, we saw him talk about how he wants to be a bird. That's the most airtime he's gotten so far.
It's a tight end thing.
It is. I'd still like to, for all the fantasy hype he's getting, I'd like to see him do something. But
yeah,
I agree. I don't mind it. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know.
Weird. Any thoughts about Ed Oliver's horses?
That's a big man on a horse.
It is.
That's
That's what
the
exactly
thing
what I
about,
thought. First thing I saw, or I thought.
like, yeah, before they said or showed his horses and stuff, it's like this guy's gonna have big horses because
Hmm.
or he's abusing animals, one of the two.
Right.
Um, those shots were. I'm not a horse guy. They freak me out, to be completely
Oh,
honest.
I love
But
horses.
I grew up. I showed cattle, so at
Hmm.
the fairs and stuff, and it's by the horse barn, and all you hear all day is horses just kicking that metal door,
Yeah.
and it's like they. And I knew someone who got kicked in the face. My uncle got kicked
Oh
by
yeah.
a cow in the face, kicked his lip off, legitimately.
Yeah.
They had to go back on. Like a horse can kick you in half, and then the other side they can bite you. So I'm not. That's the only. I mean, I don't like birds either. I have a phobia of birds, but like horses, I just don't fuck with them.
You
Can't
know
do
what's
it.
funny is you ever go to like a Fourth of July parade or any kind of parade that horses are in, and as they're walking, they just take a dump right in the middle of the road. That's pretty
Uh-huh.
funny.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't care. They
Yeah.
are very much, the coach cliche having the blinders on. It's like a
Yep.
racehorse. That I respect that. They don't care about anything that's behind them.
To your point of Ed Oliver being a big guy on a horse, those horses were moving with him on it too.
Yeah, it with like I don't know if those are racehorses or not, but like
Right.
they weren't like galloping. They were like that was like a fucking speed car. They weren't
Right.
moving. There's no wasted movements. It was incredible. And he's upright. It was cool.
And then again to your point about like horses kind of being dangerous animals, coaches had to be like, tense as hell when Ty Johnson or Ray David, who was there? Ty Johnson?
I think it was Ty Johnson, yeah.
When he got up there and like was like falling off.
Yeah. Yeah, watching it back, they're probably like, okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe you get the horse after the season. You don't need to get one now.
Right.
That is, yeah. Yeah. Again, Ty Johnson might be my favorite player on the team. I like him a lot. I
Agreed.
like him, but Ty Johnson he's just a gritty blue collar dude, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you come
It's
across to me.
pretty funny wearing skinny jeans and cowboy boots and then making your buddy shovel poop. I mean, that's funny.
That is great.
Yeah.
And if you own the 30 horses, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Gotta say, if you own 30 horses and you make millions of dollars, though.
Yeah. What are
He's
you doing in
laundering
the
money.
NFL?
Well, no, I think he's laundering money.
Oh,
Like,
maybe. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other reason to have horses.
True. 30
Like,
and like 30 of them.
right. And I assume if he's got 30, he has some sort of investment in like the actual like Derby horses. And
Probably.
that's just money laundering in
Yeah.
plain sight. There's no two ways about it. By the way, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we're still not talking about it. There was like 7 horses that died on one day.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that enough. We did on the FlurrySports podcast for like 2 or 3 weeks. May need to revisit that. There's like
It's
4 that
pretty.
got shot.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
like, what are you doing?
A pretty funny plot in one of the new It's Always Sunny episodes. Frank has money invested in he tells Dennis that it's invested in like a Derby horse, and it's actually in like a West Virginia dog horse or dog that he owes money to the Saudis. It's a pretty funny plot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to catch up. I need to watch those. What else? I thought the improv game was good. You see a lot of
Yeah.
like comedians and stuff like that come in during training camp. That was something where it seemed practical. Like again, there's only 5 people or 6 people up there or whatever. But again, we got to showcase KJ Hamler, who if we're
Always
talking
great.
about energy guys, he's great.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen at least didn't get eliminated right away. That
Well,
would
what I think too, he obviously lost at the end. But what's kind of interesting about watching those, they always have like mentalists on or whatever. They always do something like this every single Hard Knocks, right? And
Mhm.
usually the quarterback's involved, and usually like if they're doing a competition, the quarterback makes it pretty far. It kind of shows that quarterbacks how fast they can think and how fast they can realize everything
Yeah.
and work on the run. And it's obvious that Josh Allen's the same way. But I always find that interesting. You see how quick guys can move and think, when put into a situation where you got to go quick.
Yeah, it's just improv. It's you have to be aware of everything, and just listening to like on McAfee, listening to Aaron Rodgers talk about whether he's going to make a throw or not, and he's like diagnosing the like the like the percentage of it getting caught or getting intercepted like in real time, and I believe he does that. Like he obviously he's the one, But yeah, like all quarterbacks, Manning, even like Jordan Love, I suppose. Like, yeah, they're different kinds of humans to be
Right.
32 in the NFL.
Well, on top of that too, like in Rodgers' case, like he knows every single pass he's ever thrown in his career.
Yeah, the recall is stupid. That is
Yeah.
something. I don't know if he's got photographic memory, but like I've been around a couple people who have that. It's
Yeah.
weird. It really weirds me out.
Yeah.
I don't like they literally can just look at a book and close it and then
Yeah.
they
Reset
just see it.
everything.
I don't understand that. My brain works differently in a way as well, but not like that. Um, like I visualize a lot of things, but it's not from memory. So that I would like to get that. That would be great if I can somehow, if that's one thing science can adapt to, that I can just download that into my
Would
brain or
you
something. That'd be great.
would you rather, and I guess let's say you can just have it right now where you remember everything. Would you rather have that or know 15 languages?
I mean, remember everything, even if we want to say like the uh, the one factor is you remember everything but not languages. Even if that's the case, like I would do that.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't
What
know
about
languages.
okay, I was gonna throw in so take all languages if you could play any instrument.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I would
agreed.
still do the remember everything, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. Um, anything else from this episode? There wasn't a ton of different things, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in the joint practices, I wish someone would have laid out Caleb Williams. That would have been funny. But really
They did
nothing.
push him that one time.
Yeah, there's really nothing crazy with like with the preseason game or the Bears stuff. I did kind of like the cliffhanger they set up at the end that there's gonna be some major cuts. I hope Cardex goes back to showing guys getting cut.
Mhm.
Um, and then the other thing that I had was like I've never done it. I've never been fast enough to do it, but it's got to be hell when you're a gunner and taking on two guys sprinting down the sideline.
Yeah, they're psychos.
Yeah,
They are they're kamikazes. They are insane. And they're looking for guys who run a 4.3 and they're big and they're strong and those are another one. There's very few humans on the face of the planet that can do that physically, much less mentally. Yeah, it's kind of like being to a lesser degree, but even still, like the former wedge busters in the NFL.
yeah,
Like you're not long for this world. You just throw your head into two big offensive linemen and hopefully you
and
get them
pray.
off. Yeah, yeah, not a good time whatsoever. I just looked ahead. So the Bills go to Tampa next week. I don't
Oh,
know if it's joint practice or not, but I hope so. See a little Baker, that'd be fun.
yeah.
But okay, so if they're alluding to big cuts and stuff like that, and they show it, usually they build up those storylines, I guess.
There hasn't been much.
So
Just the army guy
the Army guy, KJ Hamler, and
and Broadway Joe
Buffalo,
or
yeah,
Buffalo Joe.
Buffalo Joe. But I think Buffalo Joe is safe.
Yeah,
Then KJ might be safe. He's close. Obviously the Army guy's fully borderline. But like, is that
yeah.
an interesting enough story?
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting storyline. Brandon Bean having to cut a United States veteran, but
True.
um,
True.
other than that, no, it's not that interesting.
But yeah, they didn't really, and I hope they don't do the BS where it's like we're going to introduce somebody at the beginning of the episode just
Yeah.
so we can show him getting cut. But if they don't do that, I just don't really know what else they got, I guess.
What do you think about Frank Gore? You think he's a practice squad guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's not a top 3 running back on this team, right? That those are
Yeah.
locked in. So he's a practice squad guy. I think he can play in the league though. So I guess he's the guy they're going to show getting cut.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine he makes the roster, but he could get picked up by somebody. I'd be down for Frank Gore to be the RB4 on the Packers. Fuck
For sure.
RB3. Sounds like Marshawn Lloyd's out again, so
Yeah.
I'll take it. Anything else about the Buffalo Bills? Did you come away from episode 3 feeling any different than what we were talking about last week?
No, honestly, not really, right? It felt like another episode where it's like, yeah, you watch the first part, you're like, all right, maybe they got a little fire under their asses, and then you get into practice, and right away it's like, guys joking around, and it kind of they're a good team, they know they're good. Are they Super Bowl bound? Who knows? And then you get into the horses, which again, I would love to see guys competing in practice, but it's fine. And then you get to the party at their house at Conor McGovern's house, which again I like Conor McGovern. It's cool making pizzas and everything, but like I want to see them put like on a practice dummy a picture of Patrick Mahomes' face and
Yeah.
and Ed Oliver and Joey Bosa just going after it. Like they should just do that for 15 minutes.
They should just be cartoonishly just like
Yeah.
like a dartboard with Travis Kelsey's face on it. Just yeah, the whole thing. Whole thing. They should outlaw someone should start playing Taylor Swift and then they all get pissed off and make them turn it off, stuff like that.
You know what, and I doubt that like they even talk about it, but would be an interesting storyline. And I know it happened so long ago, but talking to Brandon Bean about trading with the Chiefs and Chiefs taking Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to hear him talk about it, but what are we going to get?
Right.
He'll do we got Keon Coleman, we like what we got in Keon Coleman, we'll see what we got this year.
Right.
We all know like he gets it, he knows.
Yeah.
Yes, we would love to have Xavier Worthy right now. Should he have done it? No. I think he understands that now, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't. And that would be good television as well if he is completely not aware.
Yeah. I
So
yeah. I
yeah,
agreed.
go
I'm
ahead and
sorry.
then I have some betting odds after you're done here.
Okay. I just to kind of put a wrap on what I said. Like I'm just trying to look for any kind of storylines with this Buffalo Bills team. And the one thing I keep coming back to is beating the Chiefs. I'll probably run that into the ground while we do the whole show. But again, what we talked about last time, what storylines really are there with with this team? I get that you take that the NFL picks the Buffalo Bills, or people like them, people like Josh Allen. They're trying to get over a hump, whatever. But really, there's no storylines to this team at all.
The one minor storyline was James Cook, and then he got
Right.
signed. So yeah, I don't know what else there would be. Um,
They're not bringing any new guys. There's not really any crazy competitions. The craziest competition is the backup quarterback, and they're hardly showing that. And it's I would
yeah,
love
it
to
is
get
good at all.
I'd love to get 10-minute segment on Mitch Trubisky versus Mike White, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we talked about last week. They were sort of building up to the Trubisky back in Chicago, and they would do more of this battle and hopefully have Trubisky come out on the right side. But I mean, that game again, there was just nothing to take away from it positive. So they didn't
Yeah.
really show anything other than Frank Gore running well and then fumbling.
Yeah.
That's about it. So right now, where would you rank the Buffalo Bills amongst Super Bowl contenders?
I would guess
Near,
that they're
near
I would guess, just thinking in the gambling space, I would guess they're probably a top six team, right? They're coming off an AFC championship again with Josh Allen, I mean, whatever credence you give to NFL top 100, he's probably going to be the number one guy in the NFL coming off an MVP. I would say that they're probably a top six, maybe top four team, probably around the plus 600 to plus 750 range.
Okay, but where would you rank them in your personal
Probably.
odds?
Like I think they have a good team. I think that they're built. They offensive line's good. The defense is all right. Again they have the MVP. I would say that like if I'm ranking all 32 teams, I would rank them probably fifth to sixth to seventh best team, somewhere in there.
That's fair. It's hard. Like you can't. Again, I'm going to go into the season if nothing changes and say they're one of the teams who have no shot to win a Super Bowl. That's
And
just me.
I don't disagree.
But like you see the MVP, you see Josh Allen. It's like, is there a realm of possibility where he puts up 40 every single game? Yes.
Yeah.
Like there just is. So I think that's fair. I am happy to tell you the Buffalo Bills are tied for the top odds in the entire NFL to win a Super Bowl.
It's crazy.
You were completely right. You said between 650 and 750, and it's plus 700. They're tied. They're tied with the Ravens and the Eagles.
That's crazy that anyone's tied with the Eagles.
Agreed. And it's crazy that the Chiefs aren't among that.
Yeah.
Chiefs are immediately after. So plus 700 for those three. Chiefs are plus 800. little bit of a jump with plus 1,100 for the Lions, and then that's it. Because then it's 1,900 49ers, 2,000 Commanders, Packers, and Rams, and it goes down after that. So really, the sports books are telling us there's 4 teams who have a shot, from how I interpret that.
Which is probably true. But this kind of feels like, it's an injury away from a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers putting together a good season and sneaking into the Super Bowl. And we're like, how the fuck did this happen? And then they go and win it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone seems to be on board with the Rams. I think they're incredible. If Stafford stays healthy, they're one of those plus 2,000 teams. Like, if he plays 17 games, or if he plays whatever and they get into the playoffs and he's healthy entering the playoffs, Rams have as good of a shot as anybody.
I don't want to put this show to a stopping halt here, but we might have to.
Okay.
I heard today, I don't even know what I was listening to. People think Matt Stafford is dead, and that there's like a dummy in for him. Did you hear this?
No, I love
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I don't know if you can look up anything on it, but I heard it. I didn't do any research into it. I was going to do it tonight, and I forgot to. But apparently, there's a theory going around that Matt Stafford's dead, and there's a doppelganger in for him.
I mean, I absolutely love that. Let's just see.
Yeah.
It's like an Avril Lavigne situation. What's I'm not typing? Matthew Stafford dead. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I see some bro Bible stuff. Okay, let's bring this up. Yeah, here we go. Let's bring this up. Okay, so yeah, I have it up here. Let's look at bro Bible. Matthew Stafford died weeks ago.
Yeah.
Friends, as NFL fans joke that Stafford passed away, and the one seen at practice is a clone. Okay. Hashtag Stafford died weeks ago. A little on the nose. Okay, there really isn't anything there. Did it show the new? It didn't show the new tab. 1 second here. Put it right here. So someone said this is an obvious clone we're about to watch here. Got blurry. Okay, didn't see anything, but one more time.
I mean, I feel like there's no credence to this theory whatsoever, but the fact that it's out there is pretty funny.
I mean, I am not going to turn down any theory. This is definitely, this article is talking about this as a complete joke, but I don't want to write anything off. Rams players shown touching video update from Matthew Stafford at practice. I miss you so much. Okay, you know what?
It might need to be some more research, but when there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. I don't know who started the rumor or who reported the news, one of the two, but you know who I do have in my DMs right now, and I was talking to the other day? Jordan Schultz. He's one of the NFL insiders. I will ask him.
Yeah.
This may ruin a connect, but I will ask him straight up what he's heard and if he can dig a little deeper, because you never know.
Right.
That's interesting. So tomorrow, as you guys are watching this Wednesday night, we have Lombardi Sweep. We have the Packers show at 6 p.m. Central. Could be an update there. Speaking of updates, big update to the fantasy football draft kit rankings tonight. And honestly, if I find anything about Matthew Stafford, I'm putting it in the draft kit. So you might as well buy the draft kit, and page 33 of the draft kit will be whether or not Matthew Stafford is, if there's a big update that he drops in the rankings, I think you just know. What's up, David, over on YouTube? Go Cowboys. So Cowboys fans, Bills are okay too. Interesting. So are the Bills your AFC team? And if so, you're kind of the person I despise most, maybe. Not to fully call you out, but obviously Packer fan, I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then we started the show with me saying I think the Bills might be a bottom 5 team for me. Who on the AFC I dislike more? Oh, I hate the Dolphins. I would not be about the Dolphins.
I'm not ready to hate the Dolphins yet.
The vibes are so bad. I don't hate the Dolphins as an organization, maybe. I think I hate the Bills as an organization. I'm just sick of them.
Yeah.
I don't like the Bills Mafia. I don't like, they're posers. I don't think they're real.
Agreed. My thing with the Dolphins, I love Tyreek Hill. Whether people like him or not, he's just incredible to watch play football. Same with
For sure.
Devon A. Love him. And Mike McDaniel, I love Mike McDaniel. I know people think he's corny, he's nerdy, whatever. I think he's funny. I think he's a guy who doesn't take himself seriously. Whether that's turns into a good coach or not, who knows? But as a character, I think he's a great character.
This year will be very interesting with him because I think he is true to himself, and I don't think that's going to change.
Right.
If they're bad, what does he do? How do reporters respond? And then on the flip side, I'm not alone with thinking I think the Dolphins are going to be a dumpster fire. If
Yeah, I don't
he
disagree with
puts
that.
them in the playoffs, like all of a sudden he's a legit dude.
Right.
And that would be, I would hate that, but maybe it's possible. Maybe they get two out of there and then Quinn Ewers takes them to the promised land. Who knows?
I also feel like Mike McDaniel, like kind of along the lines of like that whole the whole Kyle Shanahan thing, right? Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, McDaniel, they're all best buddies, right? Rob Saleh.
Mhm.
Someone brought this up a while ago, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they come out of like they grew up playing Madden and stuff, and I like that. That's probably how they designed a ton of their plays, just by doing shit they did on Madden. That actually works. That's kind of fun.
For sure. Well, they're part of that too, but they're also part of that Shanahan system. They're part of the, and just a split from that, like they crossed roads with Gruden, and
Yeah,
Gruden's that freaking brainiac as well. So whether it be Shanahan, whether that be Gruden, whether that be rubbing off with a little Holmgren and stuff like that, like that's a crazy coaching tree for offense and West Coast run scheme, crazy pass design. So that's good stuff. We play the Packers September 28th. Would that be Cowboys? I think it's Cowboys,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Sunday night.
Should be a good game. I agree. Unfortunately, they took Matthew Golden from Texas. I thought Cowboys had a real shot to keep him in state,
Agreed.
but Mark Murphy went with the PR move as he rode off into the sunset. And thank God he did at this point, because the Packers would be screwed without him. But
I'm,
yeah,
I'm. This is probably a conversation for Lombardi Sweep, but I'm talking myself into Mark Murphy turning UWGB basketball into like a powerhouse program.
someone's got to do it. It's not going
Right.
to be whatever Gottlieb. It's not going to be him.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm interested to see how much influence he has on the athletic side of sports. I feel like not much, because I don't think he has much influence on the athletic side of the Packers either, to be honest.
Like UWGB should just let him come in and be the athletic GM along with whatever else he's doing.
Well, they should let him do whatever the hell he wants, because what Green Bay
Yeah.
is not doing right now is it's just not working.
Right.
Yeah, bring football there.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, I don't know. Obviously, UW Superior got rid of football in like the 90s, and they're like the most historic football school in the fucking state, and they got rid of that. Like,
Right.
I think of the next. Okay, so then the most historic football town in Wisconsin's Green Bay. They don't got football. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Do something.
There are I've always said Green Bay's kind of a weird area where it's not that big, but like none of like the city kids are like good recruits for basketball or football or anything. It's all from the outside areas. I feel
Sure.
like if Green Bay put a football team together, they could get a lot of those guys, and it'll take a
Mhm.
while, but they could compete in the WEAC.
There's legit NFL guys who've come out of Green Bay. I mean, you got
Yeah,
Van Linen, you got not Lupke, he's from Spencer, but
Ingold.
you got Ingold, yep, fullback. There's another one. I mean,
Um,
Bortolini, center for the Colts, is from there.
the guy who played for the Texans, guard, I forget his name, Matt Sharping.
Yeah, true.
He's from
Okay.
Southwest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, consistent, gritty offensive line dudes come out of Green Bay.
Hmm.
So I and they're not going to Wisconsin. So some of them are, not very many anymore. So we need to keep them at least at UW Green Bay. That would be good. Last call, draft kit updates tonight, and then you'll hear me pound this more and more, obviously, as the season goes along. If you get the draft kit right now, scan the QR code, buymeacoffee.com/Zach Bruner, ZACHBRUNNER. Become a member, because you get much more and you get it for cheaper. That's just a better deal. But there's going to be updates throughout the entire summer. So if you become a member today, don't worry. The draft kit you get today will be updated. It's getting updated tonight even, and then it's going to be updated next week after those preseason games. and then probably one more time right before the season. So you are missing out on nothing by getting it right now. And in fact, you get more if you get the draft kit right now. So I recommend you go and do that.
I have a quick question before we hop off here.
Sure.
Um, so you're going to a football game. You can pick. I guess that's. I don't want to phrase that way. I want to phrase what seats would you rather have? Like
Hmm.
somewhere in the middle, maybe along like the 50-yard line or 40 to 30, somewhere in there, or would you rather be in the end zone?
What level of football?
Professional.
Pro. I think I would rather be in the end zone.
So I saw this take going around that people think that end zone seats are horrible and you'd rather see the 50-yard line because you can kind of see everything. But maybe it's my bias sucking. Like we've had season tickets in the end zone for like 16 rows up for as long as I can ever remember. Sitting in the
Mm-hmm.
end zone and as like it's fun when like they're coming at you, they score a touch, like the Packers score a touchdown at you. But when they're going away, you can like see everything open up. That was awesome to see like Rodgers roll out and see what he saw, like Jordy going across the field. Like I think those are the
Yeah.
seats that are awesome.
It's harder to see from the sideline view.
Yeah.
I think there really isn't much you can see other than some alignment. But yeah, to your point, you can't really see the play progress super well. Um, yeah,
Like
100%. If it's high school football and stuff like that, obviously, I want the sideline. I don't want end zone. But
like
you
you're
know,
watching film. Like from the film I watch, I'd much rather watch it from the end zone view than the sideline view.
yeah, if anyone chooses sideline view, like I don't even know if that's a psychotic thing. I think you're just dumb. Like you don't
Right.
see anything. The whole point. That's why you see these high schools invest tens of thousands of dollars in end zone cams so you
Yeah.
can see something. That's the whole point. If you like the sideline view, I don't know if there's a way to switch it like 2K, but I'd love to see you play Madden from the
Yeah.
sideline view. That'd be great. Sounds like a ton of fun.
That was a mind-blowing experience for me when 2K I switched from a sideline view to behind.
Yeah.
That I did that like
It's
15 years ago. I've never gone back.
no, you can't. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Before I knew it, it's every time you throw it to the corner for a 3-pointer, and
Yeah.
maybe half the time they're out of bounds, maybe more
Right.
than that. The amount of out of bounds was insane. My first memory playing a basketball game, I think was 2K or maybe it was NBA Live. It was a demo I got on like one like those video game magazines you could get, and there's like CDs with demos on it. It was one of those. Now Shaquille O'Neal. I was
Yeah.
very young, so it was Shaq Lakers, I think. No, Shaq Heat maybe. And I was
Cool.
so confused because I kept getting 3 seconds. I'm because I was just trying to block everybody. I just stood under the
Hmm.
basket, and it was very similar to my reactions playing NHL and getting not icing calls, but just I whack people in the shins every time trying to do
Yeah.
it. It's the same thing.
Slashing.
Yeah, slashing. I don't understand the slashing rule. Let me do that. And that was kind of
So
I still have that opinion for basketball too. If Shaq wants to stand under the rim, we should let him.
I have a similar story to that, and I don't disagree with that. Like just
Okay.
seeing Shaq work in the paint is incredible. My story revolving that is playing like Madden on my Game Boy. Must have been like Madden '04, Madden '05, something like that. And the play was I picked halfback delay, right? It's same thing, right? It's just a draw play. They call it delay. I
Mhm.
was under the impression that if it was a delayed game, they were going to call the penalty on the halfback, so I let it go, and they called on the quarterback, and I was very confused.
That's true. Yeah, that's that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, you don't want the quarterback to foul out. So if you get it on the
Right.
running back, no biggie. That's a good point. Good stuff. Um, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I had one thing I forgot, but I'll probably remember tomorrow. I can bring it up on Lombardi Suite.
Sounds good. If you are a fantasy football player, I assume everybody here is. If you're clicking into hear about Hard Knocks, go to FlurrySports.org. We got the 150 best fantasy football team names up on there right now, and we got fantasy team names for 10 to 12 rookies in an article as well. So definitely go and check those out. We got a lot more of content on FlurrySports.org coming very soon. So read up there, subscribe here for more videos and streams, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Peace.